I'm just reading from my book, The Wellness Zone, which we've sold out of hard copies now, but you still can get it as a download on our website, medicineroom.com.au, about memory. And yeah, it's just incredible, like the amount of herbs that really help with our mind and that really help with cognitive function and neural function. If you watched our little video that we did on IGTV last week on ginkgo biloba, it's also on our Facebook page, Medicine Room. Ginkgo biloba is an incredible herb for cognitive function, and it also stops build-up of plaque in our neural pathways, which is incredible because that can help with things like tinnitus, and it can also help with memory and general cognitive function. So I just love ginkgo for that. It's a little bit of a theme in the Medicine Room at the moment, and right now today is a little bit of a celebration as well, because we're launching our podcast, Project Wellness, and that's on Podbean, but what we'll do is it's an audio podcast, so I will download it onto our medicineroom.com.au page, and it'll be under our blogs. Follow Dominique at the moment, so it'll be there for you to listen to if you want to listen to it. We'll also share it on our socials. The first 10 minutes of that, Tamara's filming, and it's going to go onto our IGTV and onto Facebook, and we may upload it to YouTube. I'm going to taste something here. We make, I put up on Instagram the other day, we put up a thing called Mindfulness, just the word mindfulness. And what does mindfulness mean to you? What does mindfulness mean to me? Like for me, mindfulness is when I do something and I do it with focus and I do it with intention, but I also do it with a sense of validation, clarity, calmness, and grace, which is like an important thing for us all in life, is to have that sense of calmness and that sense of feeling like we're really present with what we're doing at the time, and I think that creates better outcomes. And so our mindfulness herbal blend that I've made up today is Bacopa monnieri, which is an adaptogen. It's also a Brahmi, which means it's a brain food. It's incredibly good for your whole body, as all of the adaptogens are. And anything that's a brain food really does work with cognitive function. And in my book, The Wellness Zone, I've written about nitric oxide and that kind of stuff. But I'll read more from that, from my book, The Wellness Zone, on memory and mind, after we've made the visual video of this. It also has in it ginkgo biloba, Panax ginseng, which is just such an amazing adaptogen for the whole body. It's strengthening, it's adrenal repairing, it's mind, it's longevity. We've got Gotu Kolis and Tella Asiatica, which evidence-based is venous insufficiency, so it really helps increase your veins and arteries and strengthen them, and also bilberry and eyebright. And the berries have a capacity of creating like pliability in our veins and our arteries, and which works really for longevity, and it works in keeping the pliability there, which means that they don't develop so much plasticity, and plasticity is hardness. So it's actually the hardening of the veins and the arteries that's really associated with arteriosclerosis. And what happens with arteriosclerosis is that the cholesterol, which is high density lipoproteins, fatty acids, and low density lipoproteins, which are quite dense, cholesterol carries around all of our hormones in our body, and it's absolutely an essential, ingredient to wellness and health. But what happens is it gets soaked in to the veins and the arteries, and it sits there behind the lumen, which is the skin, or the little, the epithelium, like it's called lumen on veins and arteries. And then what happens is, as long as they're soft and pliable, it sits there happily. But what happens is when they become plastic and super hard, they're like plastic straws or bamboo straws that you drink out of, something like that, and then they crack open. And when they crack open, all of this beautiful cholesterol that's been sitting there for years comes out, and it foams up, and then it hardens, and they're like little foam cells. And that's how you get blockages in your arteries, in your cardiovascular system, that cause things like high blood pressure and are precursors to lots and lots of cardiovascular diseases. And so when you take something like bilberry, which is what's in this formula I made today, and all of the berries and the antioxidants and the flavonoids, they really protect you, and they keep they stop the plasticity from happening and keep the pliability there in your veins and arteries, which is really helpful, you know, for cardiovascular wellness and for longevity as well. Apple cider vinegar does that too. So if you've got some apple cider vinegar, you know, always mix that in with your berries. Put a shot of apple cider vinegar into your berry smoothies, and you know, it's very helpful. And then I've got Eyebright Euphrasia officinale in this blend. I'm just going to have a shot of our mindfulness blend. Wow, our herbal extracts all taste super powerful. And what I love about this particular formula is that they taste earthy, they do not taste bitter, they do not taste astringent, they taste full, and they taste earthy. A lot of the herbs that are mind herbs taste earthy. And I guess that because we're using a lot of leaves when we're extracting them, ginkgo biloba leaf, gotu kola leaf, bilberry berries, but we're looking at the leaf of the Bacopa monnieri as well. We're looking at the root of ginseng, and then with, yeah, it's just incredible herbal medicine. I love it so much. And the things that, when you've got a mind herb and when you've got something that's working on cognitive function, you're looking at something that's increasing the circulation to the brain, the peripheral body. It helps oxygenation in the body, which helps you stay longer, younger, and to feel better and to have more energy, which is super important. But like, everyone's so heavily scheduled at the moment, and I wrote about that in my blog this morning. And it was really about, like, I've got my whole year scheduled. I don't know about you, but like, how far have you taken your scheduling this year? You know, like, I know, like, every certain day I go surfing with my surf sisters, and that's relaxation and challenging for me too, because when I go surfing, it's really challenging my mind, it's challenging my body physically, it challenges my emotions. Like, sometimes we're paddling against the current, other times we're flowing with the rips. We have big ocean, small ocean, rainy days, sunny days, big swells, small swells. It's choppy, or it's just beautiful and long and green, beautiful waves. Some days you go out and you catch lots of waves. Some days you go out and you hardly catch any, and you feel like you've been completely pummeled. And it's exactly like life, and life does that to us. And I think that we all need to have things that are physically challenging and mentally challenging at the same time, but things that also relax us and things that we love doing. And I ask you, what are you doing that's relaxing you, that's challenging to your mind and your body, that you love doing? Because if there's nothing sitting there in your life right now to be awesome, if you create that, because what that's going to do is it's going to, once you face a challenge in one area of your life, whether it's business or personal or an activity, then you find that it gives you more of an open-mindedness to face other challenges more easily, which is an interesting aspect. And, you know, we want to create the space between the doing as well. Like, if we're so heavily scheduled that all we're doing is doing all the time, it's really important to stop and to just be. And just right now, if everyone wants to do a little exercise with me, if you just want to take a deep breath in, like a long deep breath, where you're breathing in through your nose, and then you breathe and fill up your lungs from the bottom and just fill them up to the top, and then we'll hold the breath, and then we will release the breath again. Okay, everybody? Take a deep breath in, hold the breath, breathe out. Now, Yogi Bhajan says, if you do that, set your alarm on your phone every half hour, every hour, once a day, and you take 3 long deep breaths, that will change you, it will make you present, and it will bring you right into the present moment so that you're able to mentally focus and you can stay relaxed. And that's awesome. I'm super glad that you've been able to join me for this. Medicineroom.com.au